Welcome to a mini-series about me running a Kurobe Meisui Karte Memorial Marathon in Japan. This is the first of 2 episodes, the day before the race, where I explore Nagano, travel to Kurobe, and am in complete awe of my Japanese-style accommodation. Set up a little tea. The story begins as I, after 2 weeks of work in Japan, am traveling to Nagano to kick off my week of vacation with a marathon. I've just left my luggage in one of the coin lockers at Nagano station. I love those lockers in Japan. It's so convenient when you arrive early and have to kill some time before the check-in. The weather isn't great. If you've been following me, you know that it's my usual luck. No biggie, I'm used to it. My plan is to have a short sightseeing walk around Nagano. I'd better rest my legs, but here we go. I hate sitting still. Hi. So this is a video about me running a Kurobe marathon. I will at least attempt it, but we'll see how it goes. I think I will have it as a separate video. Because I will eventually have the whole series about these 3 weeks in Japan. What I love about walking around streets here is that you always find some adorable unexpected shrine in the middle of a busy city. But this one, as it's about running, I think it will be a standalone episode, which is why you will probably see it before the whole series about Japan. Which is why, if you are in the middle of watching my hiking series, I'm sorry. You see, making my usual videos takes a lot of time and effort, because I have to edit all the pictures, I have to kind of combine all the videos from 3 cameras, from a drone, etc. Look, it's so pretty. But this one will be just a vlog kind of video about me going to a marathon and trying to run it. So it will be much easier to edit, and I'm thinking I might even do it while I'm here in Japan. Which is why that's what I'm saying, if you are within some hiking series, don't worry, the next episode is coming. But when I am back in Sweden. So I've just arrived in Nagano, but I will not stay here. I will check into a hotel, leave my luggage, and then I will continue going to Kurobe, where I'm running the marathon tomorrow. And I will tell you later why I've decided to do it like this. Now it's around 11 in the morning. I can check in around 3, and then my train is around 4. But let me start with a little bit of a running context. If you'd rather not listen to this, if you're not interested in running, you can just try to skip through to the next timestamp. It is not my first marathon. It's marathon number either 6 or 7, I think. I kind of lost count, also you don't know, do we count the ultra races? Anyway. I am not a runner though. I never consider myself a runner. I really love running, But I love a lot of other sporty things, and actually running is not what I do the most, I would say. Nagano is beautiful, isn't it? Look at this. This is just gorgeous. This is a really cute street that goes to a really huge temple. I also had fun with some races in the last couple of years, but it's really more just for fun. I never chase time, I would say. I would usually, when I ran marathons, I would usually just try to get under 4 hours. That would usually be my goal, which is not as impressive. I'm saying is just I've never tried running that much. I've never trained running that much, I would say. Fastest time is 3 hours 44 minutes. My slowest is 4 hours 13 minutes, but I ran that last one for 13 a week after 3:44. So I guess I just did not recover properly back then. That's really pretty. I found some temple that is not really touristy, and it's just 100 meters away from the touristy street that you've just seen. I think the point I'm trying to make here is that the only time I was kind of nervous about not finishing a race was my first marathon, because I had no idea it was the first time. But then I tried it, and I realized that it's not that hard with my general fitness, which is quite high. But tomorrow is the race for which I have doubts, and I for sure cannot expect a good performance from myself. And there are several reasons for that. The main being is that I'm injured. But I will get to that a little bit later. So I have not trained for this marathon. I don't have to look no further, 'cause I've reached my destination. I used to be. That is a very steep staircase. I don't have to keep on searching. There are several buildings you can visit in this temple. Buy me ticket. The first one is the gate, where you can see a nice view of the shopping street I've just passed and of the rest of the temple complex. Look at this tree. Oh, Nagano is super cool. And look at the mountains. An important note here. When I say I have not trained for a marathon, I don't want to say that I just got off a couch and decided to run a marathon. I'm very much against those videos where people actually do that, where they I don't know, run a marathon. I mean, it's okay for them to do it, but not to, I think, encourage others, because if you decide to run a marathon on no training, you might get injured. You might not, but you also might. Yeah, I am quite a trained individual, but I have not trained for this marathon specifically. For an event like this, you usually start 3-4 months in advance, and you just gradually, you know, if you're running, you just gradually increase your mileage and you train more and more, and then you are trained. But I did not do that this time for several reasons. And the main is that, you know, if you've been following me on this channel for a while, you will know that I attempted to run 100k last August, and I failed. I got to 78 and I did not make a cutoff time, which is why I want to redeem myself and do it again this year. And now it's May 24th, and I'm in training for 100k. And yeah, 100k is on July 31st. Look at this. I have no idea why, but there are cows in this park. You can also visit the main temple and this pagoda, but it's forbidden to film inside. And so at the end of March, I started training for my 100k. And throughout the year, I would usually run 30-40 kilometers a week. But before going to Japan at the beginning of May, I was running 60 plus kilometers a week, with my long run being 30 to 35 kilometers. So by no means am I not trained. But now here comes the problem. Unfortunately, my ankle injury, the one that I had before when I was training to 100k last time, started acting up, and I started having pain running. It kind of lasted almost the whole of April, but it would usually, I would feel it during the run, then it will go away, then again I will feel it during the run. But then I arrived in Japan in the second week of May. I've been here for 2.5 weeks. 2 weeks of work and half a week of a holiday. And that's where it happened. In this half week of holiday, I was doing a lot of walking. I would walk 20-30 kilometers a day, and my ankle just gave up. On Monday last week, today is Saturday, and on Monday last week, it just got really bad. I started having pain all the time, including when just sitting and walking. And yeah, I found a little nice park on temple grounds to walk around and tell you the story. Yeah, so it got really stiff, like I couldn't point my toe, I couldn't flex my toe, and I had to drop most of the running. I would still do a little bit of running in the morning, around 5 kilometers on the weekdays. Yeah, I started taking painkillers. I found plasters in Japan, which you can put on whatever part of your body is hurting, and it should reduce inflammation and the pain. And I started wearing ankle support. Now it's been almost 2 weeks since that happened, and I still have pain in my ankle. And yeah, that's the main problem. I don't know how it's going to behave tomorrow. I guess ideally I should not run, but I mean, I'm in Japan and I want to try a Japanese marathon, and I really don't want to give up on it. But that is why I'm very apprehensive of how it's going to go, because I don't know what's going to happen with my ankle throughout the race. And also these 2.5 weeks in Japan, I was not running much. Like, I didn't run the first half, then I was running on weekdays in the mornings very slowly, just 5 to 6 kilometers. So maybe I ran 20 kilometers on week 1 and about 25 kilometers this week. And I'm afraid that my fitness really dropped. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go, and I'm a bit nervous about it. I'm very apprehensive about being able to finish it. Because I'm walking now and I feel a bit of pain in my ankle, and the ankle is taped. I'm going to tape it tomorrow when I'm going to run. But yeah, that is the current state of things. Let's put it like this. I did not really intend to run this race seriously. Like, I did not intend to make any effort, even running it under 4 hours, because I signed up for this race on a whim. At the end of March, I was just thinking, I'm going to Japan, maybe I should run a marathon there. And I found one and I signed up. It was not easy because first I tried to register to get a place in the marathon, but you couldn't without a Japanese address. And then I found a company that sells this kind of entries, and I paid way more. I paid $120 for an entry into the marathon, and I think I would have paid $70 if I just signed up, but it was impossible without a Japanese address. Anyway, my point is, I did not take this marathon seriously. I am not doing it for running. I really, from the very beginning, I was planning to take it very slowly, not even like run fast, because I want to see everything. I want to experience. There will be food on the during the race, and I want to try it. So I was not planning to put any special effort, running effort into it. But I was for sure planning to finish it. And now with the ankle, I don't know. Yeah, so that's the status. That's how I'm going into it tomorrow.
It's getting too loud in here. It's time to get out.
This is just one gorgeous temple area, isn't it? I will probably come back if I'm able to walk after the marathon.
And time will be all we need. But for now, we'll take all the pieces, all of the reasons to stay. I'm waiting tonight. I'm waiting for all of this now. I think we just might. I'm waiting for all of the reasons to stay. Wasting my time.
Now that makes me really happy, despite my ankle.
It's getting beyond sincere.
Now, why am I in Nagano? I left Sendai, where I was doing my research visit. I left this morning. And Kurobe, where I'm running the marathon, is about 2 hours away from Nagano by train. Now, I was planning to go to Nagano even before I decided to run a marathon. I wanted to see a couple of things around here. And then when I found this marathon and it was just 2 hours away, I was like, yes, that's perfect. But since, as I said, this idea came to me only at the end of March, and it's like not a huge marathon, but pretty large. I checked accommodation in Kurobe, and there was only very expensive one left. In an ideal world, I would go to a place where I run a marathon for at least 2 nights, because tomorrow I have to be on site at 6 in the morning. And then I don't want to deal with luggage in the morning, because what do you do with it? You have to get up really early, go to the start of the race, and I will have to pick up my beep tomorrow. But as I said, there was only one quite expensive option, and then there were options in some small towns nearby, but then you would have to go by train in the morning, and I wasn't sure how that was gonna work. But I couldn't afford 2 nights at that expensive place. So I decided to pay for 1 night. It costed me about $450. I don't know why I'm saying the numbers in dollars. Probably should be using euros, but I paid them in Swedish crowns, so I guess everyone roughly understands dollars. Yeah, which is why I will be going there quite soon, and then I will stay there overnight and go to the marathon site in the morning. But then what do I do with the luggage? And yeah, then I just decided that I will check into a hotel in Nagano already today, and I will just leave my luggage in the room, and then I will take my little backpack with all the necessary things and just travel with that today, and return back tomorrow with that little backpack. But now checking into the hotel here in Nagano is at 3, and this expensive accommodation that I paid for, it offers nice dinner, and dinner is at 7, and it takes 2 hours to get there. So I had to book a train ticket at around 4. I'll try to sneakily check into the hotel maybe at 2:30, maybe they will allow me in. Yeah, but then I will need to repack very quickly and run for the train. I realized that I should have just rested my ankle today and the rest of my body, but I really cannot sit still. If I'm at a new place, well, I've been to Nagano, but only briefly. If I'm at a new place, I really have to walk around and see everything. But now I will go to some Starbucks nearby, and I will sit down for about an hour and a half. Oh wow, I found another temple completely hidden. Look at this. That is a cool thing about Japan. You just walk around and you accidentally find some adorable temple or a shrine. Anyway, now you know that I'm an idiot. I run when I should not. I should have just rested my ankle for the last 2 weeks, but I really couldn't make myself not run because I had this marathon and I have this 100k, and I know that in a smart way you should properly rest, and then you'll be able to train properly. But I just couldn't make myself, so I did do some running in the mornings, which was okay-ish. But yeah, my ankle is much better. I finally made this series about Japan. You will see how much of my thinking was about that ankle in the last 2 weeks. I was pretty obsessed because I was really excited about this marathon. I mean, it's a marathon in Japan. I'm not sure if I will ever be able to do it again in my life. And yeah, and then this thing with my ankle. I was so down. I mean, I was working a lot, so when I was working, obviously my head was in a different place. But whenever I would have a free minute, I would be sad again about the ankle. But yeah, at least now I think it's less swollen, so I finally can point and flex my toe again, not all the way, but it's pretty okay. And it feels weird, but it doesn't feel like really badly painful now. Initially it was quite painful, but then I've been taking painkillers for 10 days. I kind of stopped yesterday because it was getting better, And yeah, I guess that reduced the information a lot. But yeah, oh yes, I fully understand that running tomorrow is not smart. You can write whatever you want in the comments, I do understand it myself, but also I just cannot make myself not run it, because I was so excited. Probably you do already know from the title of this video whether I finished or not the marathon, but yeah, I'm still in the dark. I'll see it tomorrow. And yeah, that's another thing I love about trying different things, because it's exciting. You never know if it will work or not. And that is why I like trying different physical activities, because it's just so exciting to not know the result. Anyway, I'm now very close to the Starbucks. I will try to move all the videos onto my laptop, because I'm leaving the laptop behind. And I will take my nice camera with a better quality with me tomorrow, and you will see, hopefully, a marathon in Japan. Okay, a very quick tour of the hotel room, because I need to run to the station. So as you can see, it's a rather small room, but it has everything I need, which is air conditioning, bed, fridge, and a kettle. And there is also a tiny bathroom, a typical small Japanese hotel room. And this one actually costs me like $60 a night. You can quite easily find inexpensive hotels in Japan, which, yeah, compared to the one that I'll be staying in tonight, it's ridiculous. But anyway, now I have to run for the train, and I just completely and I've just laid out the things that I'm taking with me. Yeah, so let me quickly show you. My running belt, my shorts, my t-shirt, my running shades, trainers. That's what I'm going to wear for the race. Change of clothes. I'm not sure I need this, because technically I will be wearing my running stuff most of the day, and then I could probably just easily have worn this one for the rest of the day. Well, for the rest of the day, just for the train journey back. But I'm thinking it might be nice to put something clean after I'll be horribly disgusting during the race. Now we have toiletries, most importantly sunscreen. I have another sunscreen there, and I have another sunscreen in my backpack, because it might be a little bit sunny and I burn like immediately after 5 minutes in the sun, which is why I have a cap. Also blister plasters. This is my first aid kit. There are more plasters and other stuff. Yeah, these are plasters that I stick to my ankles to reduce inflammation. Ankle support, that is for wearing after the race. There is tape inside. I'm going to tape my ankle tomorrow as I run. Then I have my contact lenses. I have wet wipes to use after the race, because I'm not sure about showers, there might be. And a raincoat. And that's it. That's all I'm taking with me. I will just quickly pack it into my backpack, and I will be heading to the station, which is just 4 minutes away. Which is how I chose this hotel pretty much. It's just because it's by the station. Yeah, it has everything I need, but I need to hurry up. half an hour in advance. Now I don't know what to do here. I made sure that the correct track exists. Yeah, half an hour left. And there isn't even much shopping to be done inside this little station. Anyway, at least I'm on the right platform at the right time, more or less. I'm a little bit nervous about the last leg of my journey because I did buy a ticket for Shinkansen, which goes to Toyama, but then from Toyama I should take, according to Google, a local train, and I could not buy a ticket for it in advance. And I hope that I can just use my IC card, but I don't know. But I guess if Google says that there is a train, there will be a train. Yeah, excitement never ends. Well, I seem to be in an extremely rural area, which is also exciting in a way. That's why it's fun to run marathons. You get to see places you would probably not go otherwise. I seem to be in the area of some rice fields and other type of fields, which is, yeah, never seen that before. Quite excited. Also a bit disappointed. I was looking at the weather and for some reason my forecast showed me a different place with the same name. And there the forecast looked alright for tomorrow. Yeah, but now I checked on Google. I found the correct one, and it's going to rain tomorrow. And I'm not sure what's worse, when it's plus 30, which it probably would have been if not for the rain, or if it's just rainy and humid. Look at this. I'm like completely alone in the middle of some fields, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, the worst thing about the rain is that this area is supposed to be mountainy, so you're supposed to run the marathon and enjoy the view of the mountain peaks. But if it's going to rain and everything, I won't be able to see any mountains, as I cannot see them now, actually. Okay, do I need to turn here or at the next turn? What am I doing here? It's a bit unsettling to be alone in the middle of some fields and look the rural countryside. Can't wait to get to the hotel, which is actually a Japanese style hotel. I guess that's why it was quite expensive. And yeah, looking forward to the dinner. The dinner is supposed to be something unique. The problem is when you're running a race, you really should not be eating something unusual the evening before. But as I said, this is all about the experience. And if I cannot finish it tomorrow because of the ankle, I should prepare myself to just like be okay with it. I'm not very good at it, but okay, I think I should turn left here. Ooh, interesting. I wonder what those are. Yeah, look, fields. I was thinking about buying a bigger umbrella, one of those see-through ones, and then I was like, nah, it's not going to rain that much, and now I'm regretting it. My tiny umbrella is definitely not protecting my backpack, which is a bit disappointing. Can't wait to get to the hotel already. It was supposed to be, I think, about 20 minutes walk, and hopefully I'm not that far. But I really feel like I am in the middle of nowhere. There's not a single person around me. I think, judging by the date, this is a notice that this road will be closed tomorrow because of the marathon, which means tomorrow I will be running here. That's nice. At least I will be aware of some of the route. But okay, 6 more minutes to go. Okay, so this is the place. Not something I expected, but let's look inside. I'm getting tea in a second. I have to say it's a pretty unique place. This is my room, and you see I just got a tea from the lady who let me inside. It's a huge place, it looks very Japanese, and I get a sweet. And then I get to wear some Japanese clothes and look at the view from my window. Isn't it adorable? And then there is even a guide for bird watching and binoculars. And then, yeah, the bathroom. Look, I have like a stone bath and a shower. It looks so cool. I have no idea what... Oh, it's like a little bucket. A lot of amenities which I have no idea what it is. What is a hair tonic? What is a hair liquid? I really have no idea. Yeah, the only problem is that I will have to leave early because I need to pick up my beep tomorrow. At this. Isn't it just gorgeous in the rain? But picking the bib number is between 6 and 8:30, and I really want to be there on the early side because I don't know how many foreigners is going to be there. I believe that all Japanese people got their bibs via mail, but we are supposed to go there and pick it up, which is why I was thinking I will leave here at 6 in the morning, and I will be there at 6:40, and then I for sure will be able to get everything. But unfortunately the breakfast here starts at 6:40, and I asked them if they can make me like a box, but the lady said that unfortunately they cannot. But well, it's a bit disappointing because I really need to eat 2 to 3 hours before running, otherwise, and I really need to eat before the marathon, so I'm a little bit yeah, doubtful what I can do. I guess if I go there at 6:40, I hope there will be some kind of food to get there at that time of day. Maybe there will be some shops open. Well, I will save that I will save that thing for tomorrow morning. And yeah, I will change into my Japanese clothes. So there is this little box. This is what I'm going to wear. And there are some, look, I have even like socks. Oh, that's adorable. I have those Japanese socks that have like one big toe and the other four are sitting in the other side. Yeah, and some amenities. I wonder what I have there. The view is so beautiful. It looks especially adorable with the rain. But let's look. What have I got in this cute little... Oh, I wonder if I can take this one with me. I love this little baggy hand towel, hair cap, shower cap, toothbrush, and hairbrush. Very typical for a Japanese hotel. Yeah, maybe I will. I wonder if I can steal this one. So, what do you think? The main problem is that I don't know if I'm supposed to wear that to dinner, or is it just to wear in the... There is a public bath in this place. I guess it's one of those onsen things, but I really have no idea if I can wear that to dinner or not. That's why I hate sometimes doing the things I don't know. Like, I love trying new things, but I really hate not knowing the correct way of doing things and then looking like an idiot in front of someone else. Oh my god. I got like a full room for myself for dinner. Look at this. This is amazing. I'm so excited. I mean, look at this. Ooh, I have no idea what that is. I have to take another picture. That's crazy. I still cannot get over the fact that I got a full room for myself for dinner. It's such a shame that I will have to miss breakfast tomorrow. I guess it would have been kind of similar. I really have no idea how to eat some of these things and if they are even edible. Like, I guess this is a decoration, right? Yeah. So initially I was like, am I supposed to kneel because my ankle is killing me if I have to kneel? But look, there is a space for your legs under the table. It's probably obvious for everyone else but me. But it's like a bit of a cheating. You are sitting at a low table and your feet, your legs are just in a little like hole under the table. So now I got some soup. There is this squid thing and I really cannot eat it. It's like fresh. It's like it's live. It says pickled in soy sauce, but it looks like a squid. I really... Sorry, I cannot eat that. I'm a little bit still nervous about the fact that I have to run tomorrow and I really need to keep a good stomach, let's call it like that. And yeah, if something goes wrong, with your stomach, then you will have a problem during running. You will, let's say, be hanging a bathroom booth. So I'm a little bit anxious about trying it all, but also I paid so much for this. I have to try it. I really don't know what to do, because for the race, I should be eating carbs. I should not be eating protein, not as much. And that is all protein. And I'm I'm so afraid for my stomach, but I cannot say it because they are so nice and it is so amazing. So I just have to, fingers crossed, trust in my stomach, which is actually a horrible trust because my stomach is very weak for new things. Why am I doing this? Guys, look at this. This is amazing. But yeah, this video is supposed to be about running a marathon, and now it's about eating food. I'm sorry about this, but my mind is blown, and it's just blown by accident because I couldn't find cheaper accommodation. So my strategy is to chew intensely and to try to partake only a little bit. So I'm trying to try everything so that it doesn't look like I don't like it, but also I kind of want to try this, but I really need to be careful for tomorrow. Why am I doing this to myself? I'm sorry it turned into a Japanese food podcast, but it's ridiculous. It's so many dishes. I'm on dish number 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is still 1, 2, 3, 4 to go. But at least this one is grilled, and I know that my stomach will be okay with grilled fish, although it's not carbs. But there is a dessert at the end. Hopefully, that will be carbs. But this experience is crazy. And look, she lit this thing, and I think she's supposed to bring meat. I'm usually a vegetarian, but in circumstances like this, I really like to try new things, and sometimes I eat meat, but only on rare occasions when I travel somewhere. Look at this. And I'm only on this item. It's a lot of food. So I got oyster, but most importantly, now I know what this thing is. You kind of like, you wait till it's boiling, and then you cook these things in there. I'm very afraid. I'm very nervous about it. But luckily she is bringing me some rice. Rice is carbs, so that is very good for tomorrow, but mind blown. Yeah, so you see now I think it's boiling. Almost boiling. And I will have to cook this. It's meat, I think, and veggie in there. So finally I have a dish that I know. That is rice. I also got miso soup, which I usually like, and yeah, it's too much food. Okay guys, I've never tried an oyster. This one looks beautiful. I really have to take a picture, sorry. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like it. I'm not a fan of slimy things. There is like veggies to go with it. How do you eat that? That is horrible. I mean, I don't know. It's not horrid, but also I'm not a fan. But it's fun to try. Okay, let me try this. I don't know if I can put the lid on the table, so I put it in there. And she said wait till it changes color. Ooh, okay. It's amazing. I think it's cooked. Oops. I think I'm going to spend all of my footage on food. And the final touch. I am so full. Let's hope my stomach can handle it. It's amazing. You see, my room starts with a little hole. Then I take off my shoes. And then, oh wow, they made a bed for me. I was so like, what do I do? I have no idea how to set up a bed for me in this Japanese style. And they did it for me. It's so adorable. Look at this. That is so cute. And on top of that, they set up a little tea ceremony for me. I mean, a little tea making arrangement. That's so adorable. So there is like a public bath, which I want to try because I've never been to a big one. But I'm also a little bit nervous. I have no idea what to do. So I can very quickly show you inside. Because it's so humid, my camera will not handle it. But you see, there is like a pool with a view and some shower things on the side. So there is a pool in front of a huge window, and the window shows this Japanese garden, and there are like bamboo. It's dark, so you cannot really see it now, but there are some lights. I bet it's amazing when it's daylight. There are like bamboo trees. They're not trees, they're grass. Bamboo grass, and yeah, it looks really cool. Yes, a very quick view inside, but I never know if I'm doing everything correctly because I went in, I washed myself as you should before going into the bath, and then I went into the bath to warm up a bit, and then 3 Japanese ladies who were sitting inside, they just left almost straight away, and I felt like, have I done something? Or was it just time for them to go? Or yeah, I felt a little bit like I did something wrong. I probably didn't, but yeah. Anyway, now it's time to go to bed because I really need to wake up early tomorrow. To be fair, I really should be in bed now. Good night, guys. And this is the end of episode 1, the day before the race. Initially, I was planning to do it all in one video, but it was getting too long and my laptop would have struggled too much. So stay tuned for the second episode, where I will actually run the race. Sorry about this showing off of my fancy dinner, but I really just had to share it, and for too much running talk and complaining. Anyhow, if you didn't hate it, maybe hit a like button and consider subscribing so that you don't miss the race day. I'm all wet!